Hello everyone, this is Phoenix here, and today we're going to be talking about games that I cannot wait for to come out this year, like 2014 or maybe even next year, who knows, but either way, I was planning on making a video talking about games that I really liked that came out last year in 2013, but I don't know, I think I'm going to do something different where I want to talk about games that I just cannot wait for to come out, like games that are going to be like, that I just just very happy to see, or just games that are, just the really good shit that I just can't wait for it to happen. And some of them are going to be ones that I'm not too sure about when they're coming out. Some of them I do know, but anyways, we're going to go over them when we get there. So anyways, let's hope you enjoyed this, and let's go on and start the list. Alright, so the first game that I really cannot wait for to come out this year would have to be Super Smash Bros. 4, or as what they say it is Super Smash Bros. 4 Wii U, or Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. Personally, I would like to get it on the Wii U, since, well, the Wii U does need more exclusive games for it, and not only that, but also, I find that playing a Super Smash Bros. Game on a console would probably be a lot better for me, personally, even though the 3DS one does look pretty cool, but anyways, that's for that. But yeah, I think this, so far from what the game has, from what we've seen of it, I think it does look really nice. I mean, not just graphically, but also, it does look like that they do have all, the stuff for it. You have, all, the cool characters that are still going to be in it, and then you also have, the newer ones, such as, Mega Man, and there's newly released was, Princess Rosalie from, Mario Galaxy. Yeah, why the fuck did I forget that? I don't know. But then there's also a bunch of other stuff like that, like the villager from Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing. Yeah, so I think having all those new characters is actually pretty cool. Then there's hopefully they're gonna bring out some even more newer ones that we don't know about yet. But yeah, I think it's Super Smash Bros. It does look really good so far, and this is gonna be something I cannot wait for. Although I don't know if it's gonna come out this year, but it might. I really hope so. But anyways, Super Smash Bros. Is going to be one game that I really cannot wait for. And another game I cannot wait for is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, or I think they have another name for it too, but I'm not entirely sure, but at least that was the name of it from what I remembered. And unfortunately, this is a game that's only going to be for the PS4 and the Xbox One, which I don't have either of those yet, but I do plan on getting the PS4 maybe around the end of the year. So obviously this is going to be a game I'm not going to be able to pick up as soon as it comes out, but it does look really cool from what I've seen of it. For one, the graphics look great, and not only that, but also it's going to be a very different type of Metal Gear game where it looks like it's going to be an open world type game. At least that's what it looks like. And to me, that actually looks pretty cool. Very different and unique for a Metal Gear type game. But I think that's going to be pretty interesting, though, to say the least. And I know that a lot of people say that Metal Gear is kind of getting milked a little bit. And milked. And I can kind of agree that it really does seem that way. But I think this is where this is where it should end with the Metal Gear Solid with this series of it. Then I don't know, maybe they might make more spin-offs, or maybe make some other type of stuff, but I don't know. But I think so far this game does look pretty interesting, to say the least. Another game that I really cannot wait for, personally, is Hyrule Warriors. I know it's not the real title yet, but that's just the title that they're throwing out at us right now, and I know a lot of people were really skeptical about it at first, because they thought oh man, this can't be the new Zelda game, this looks like a piece of shit. And I'm just well, at first, I'll be honest with you. Okay, well, for one, you gotta know me, is that I love Zelda games, I love Dynasty Warriors games, so you think I'm gonna be biased about it, say, oh my god, it's awesome, but I will agree, it is awesome. But the thing is that I was a bit skeptical about it first too, because I was okay, as much as I love the idea, I don't really want this to be the new official Zelda game. But fortunately, it is a spin-off. I have a great idea for a spin-off, and that's why I think that something like this actually works. So, because as random as it is, it works quite well for a spin-off, which is what made me happy. And I know there's also a couple people out there that don't know that it's a spin-off, and it's just well, just read up on information and you'll get your answer that it's not an official Zelda game, which I'm pretty sure there will probably be one announced at E3 this year, I'm sure of it. But as of now, though, I think it's a pretty cool idea for a spin-off game, and, well, it looked pretty badass, I found. And yeah, I think it looks really exciting, I find. Then again, this is also coming from someone that likes both series put into one, so, this is something that I thought was pretty damn cool. So Hyrule Warriors, or whatever title they're gonna name it there, that it looks pretty damn cool to me, and it's something I can't wait to get. And speaking of good old hack and slash games, another one that's coming out this year is Samurai Warriors 4. And they haven't made a Samurai Warriors game in a while. The last one they made, like at least the last official one, was Samurai Warriors 3 on the regular Wii. And it did come out in Japan for the PS3, like only in Japan, fortunately. But I do plan on picking up the third one eventually. But anyways, as for Samurai Warriors 4, since they haven't made one in a while, it does look pretty cool so far from what I've seen of it. Like, I mean, I do like the way how the newer characters are and whatnot, and also it is kind of good that Tecmo Koei is working on other things that are not Dynasty Warriors lately. Even though as much as I love, like I said, I love the series a lot, I do think it is good that they are working on other things like besides that. As much as I like it, I think it's good that they are working on other things. It's because, you know, it's not like Call of Duty where where Activision, they make that like every year, like all the time, no matter what, and it's, you know, it gets kind of old eventually. And I will agree that the Dynasty Warriors can get old after a while, but as for me personally though, it's just one of those things that I just always liked. And as for Samurai Warriors 4 anyways, because that's what we're here to talk about, from what I've seen of it, it does look cool. I do believe it's going to be for the PS3 and the PS4, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty sweet. Another game that's going to be coming out will be Bayonetta 2, only on the Wii U exclusively. Now, Bayonetta 1, I have it on my PS3, and I really do enjoy it, even though I'm like really bad at it and it's really hard, but I do really like it though. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting, it's weird, but hey, I love weird shit. And I think Bayonetta 2 does look a lot like cooler looking, even though I know, if I remember correctly, there was a, Bayonetta 2 was actually like a canceled game that was supposed to come out, but then Nintendo like picked it up or something. You guys can correct me on that if I'm right or wrong, but I heard there was something like that did happen, and that's pretty cool that Nintendo has an exclusive game like Bayonetta, because, well, Bayonetta 1 kicked ass, so, you know, why not have Bayonetta 2? Like, you know, that's pretty kick-ass. And also, I do believe there was supposed to be an anime that's supposed to come out based on Bayonetta, I think. I have no idea when that's coming out, though, but that's something else I can't wait for, so. But anyways, that's for this game. It looks pretty sick so far. It does look really nice. And another one I also can't wait for, and it was a game that was supposed to come out in 2013, but then it got delayed for who knows what. Probably the fact that the game wasn't finished, and that would have to be Watch Dogs. Now, this game, it did look really cool. Like, I mean, it looked pretty unique for what it was. I mean, you're like a dude who basically has like an I was gonna say an MP3, but no, an EMP. Yes, an EMP. That makes more sense. MP3. Okay, anyways, yeah, basically it's about a guy who basically has like an EMP, and just like you can just like hack into like shit and like listen to conversations and whatnot. And it's like, it looks like an open world game. Anyways, the game actually graphically looks good, and it does look really fun. And not only that, but since the game was supposed to come out in 2013, and since it was delayed, I'm pretty sure the reason why it got delayed was because the game wasn't finished yet. And, you know, they're not going to pull a Sonic 2006 or something like that looks as good as this. You can just, you know, I really wouldn't want that to happen. So it is a good thing that it is going to be coming out this year. I think they said it was coming out either in the spring, I don't remember. I think it was probably coming out in the spring. I'm pretty sure it was the spring. Anyways, this game will be coming out for the PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and the Wii U. I'm probably gonna get the Wii U version because I think that the Wii U can like utilize a tablet pretty well with a game like that. At least that's what I think. So yeah, I think that's probably what I'm gonna do when that game comes out, is get it for that system probably. So yeah, Watch Dogs, it does look pretty interesting for what it is. And another game I also can't wait for that's going to be coming out for the PS3, and it is Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. And, well, as you know, I have a poster here of Tales of Symphonia 2, but anyways, yes, so Tales of Symphonia 1, I've played a little bit of it on the GameCube originally. I like it, it's really fun, it's really cool, but unfortunately the game can be a bit pricey sometimes. But thankfully, this Chronicles thing is basically like an HD version, and also I think it has some other thing with it, I'm not entirely sure. But from what I've seen of it, it does look really nice for what it is. It looks really awesome, just like, you know, like Tales of Symphonia actually is. So yeah, I think something like this is something else I can't wait for. I know the collector's edition of it looks pretty cool. You get like a bunch of like awesome looking things with it. Then again, I found with a lot of like games like that, you always get a lot of cool shit, which is always nice. So also not only that, but it'll also be a good thing that they get this version since it's going to be a lot cheaper than getting the GameCube version since that one's going up in price a bit. Like, I mean, like the cheapest I've seen it for was like $60, which is still quite a lot just for a used GameCube game, don't you think? So I think I'm gonna get this, then get the GameCube version maybe later on in life. I don't know, but I don't know. It'll be something I'll decide later. So yeah. As for Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, I think this is gonna be a pretty sick deal to get for JRPG fans. So another game that I really cannot wait for. It'll be only for Wii U, obviously, since well, it's kind of one of like the biggest titles for the Wii U, and that would have to be Mario Kart 8. I don't mean biggest as in like biggest shit. I mean like the biggest thing for the fact that it's Mario related. I mean I don't think there's gonna be another Mario game on another console, kind of like how the CDIs worked. Yeah. Anyways, as for Mario Kart 8, it looked really good. I think it looks like a really fun racing game because Mario Kart games usually are really fun. The only one I wasn't too thrilled about was the one on the Game Boy Advance, but it's exceptional though. I mean, it was like one of the first Mario Kart games on a portable device. But anyways, as for Mario Kart 8, it looks really impressive. It looks really cool. It looks like they did add a bunch of things to it that looks really nice. Yeah, as for Mario Kart 8, I think it looks really... Basically, Mario Kart 8 does look like a really good game, really fun. And, well, you can't really go wrong with Mario Kart that much. And this game is going to be a game that I just was, like, blown away for the fact that it's coming out. And this is Deception 4 Blood Ties. Now, if you know me personally, you know for a fact that I just love the Deception games on the PS1 and the one on the PS2. So I really cannot wait for the fact that they were able to make another one, and oh my god, it looks great. And I'm not trying to like praise it to hell here though, but man, I was just so excited to the fact that they were making a new Deception game, because it's been so long. It's been about like 2005 since they last made one, so I was just like, oh man, I really can't wait till they make one on the PS3, and they're finally gonna do it. And I was just like, yeah, motherfucker. So yeah, I thought that was some really cool shit right there. So yeah, Deception 4 Blood Ties is a game that I really cannot wait for. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I know it's coming out in Japan in February or March, I think. I don't remember. But it should come out this year in English, hopefully. I know they said that they are going to release it in PAL and North America, which is awesome. I'm just not sure when, but hopefully soon. And I know that I was going to make a video just talking about like this specific game that's coming out because, I'm just such a huge fan of the series, but yeah, I don't know, I just decided to just not do that and just save it up to talk about here, because, well, that would have just taken up a bit of time just to talk about, like, one game. So I'd rather use a video to talk about, like, more than one game or a video like this. So yeah, because, I was just, like, so excited when I first heard about that. Yeah, so I even had the link to the trailer for it. I had a link in my review for the series that I did a while back, and linked the trailer for it, in case you are wondering. So yes, this is a game I really cannot wait for the PS3. Now, this game is another Wii U game that was also supposed to come out in 2013, but then it got delayed. Funny thing enough, the game was supposed to come out on my birthday, but it never did, so yeah, a bit of a disappointment from my birthday, but oh well, I still had an amazing birthday that year. And this game is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Now, I'm a huge fan of Donkey Kong Country games, especially the ones on the Super Nintendo, as you may know already. But yes, this game, I have played Donkey Kong Country Returns a little bit on the regular Wii. I don't own it, but I've played it a little bit of it. I thought it was pretty cool. Not as good as the Super Nintendo ones personally, but it was still pretty fun. Since, well, you can't go wrong with Rare. But anyways, as for Chocobo Freeze, it does look pretty, like, cool. It does look like a lot harder than the other ones I find, which is great because, I'm really up to, like, challenging games, like, for such as games like Donkey Kong Country, because I know that the regular ones are pretty challenging enough as they are. So, Chocobo Freeze looks really fun. Alright, so the next game is only going to be a PlayStation 3 game, and that is, I think it's pronounced as Arno Surge, or I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyways, a picture of it will be right up there. Anyways, Arno Surge is basically a game where they're going to combine two RPGs, one of them being Artolico, which you know that I'm a big fan of, and then the other one is a Japanese-only RPG. I can't remember what it's called, but I know it's somewhere. But anyways, they're going to put the two and put them together to make one game, and it's going to be Arno Surge. And from what I've heard from this game, it's coming out March or April. I can't remember. But in Japan, though, so I don't know if it'll be out this year in English, but hopefully we can hope for that. But as for the stuff I do know about it, I know that they who do have this intro song for it, which actually sounds really awesome, and they have some of the characters out. Some of them look pretty badass looking, and from what I've heard, they're gonna have some of the similar things that they do have in the series of games that they put in with. Such as the diving system, and then there's also some of the backgrounds that they have do look similar to what they did on the Artolico 3 a little bit, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So personally, this is a game I cannot wait for, because I thought that the Artolico series was done after 3, and then with this game coming out, I was like, oh, so technically this is like a 4th game, but not really. It's kind of like a spin-off in a sort of way. So, this is something that I think that looks really cool, and I can't wait for it personally, so yeah, this is actually a pretty damn cool game that I can't wait for. Now, this is going to be a Wii U exclusive game, and this is one that gets talked about quite a lot, and that is simply X. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the official name, but from what we know so far, it's called X, and I'm not sure if they're going to change it at all, but all we know is that it's from Monolith, which makes the, games such as, Xenogears, Xenosaga 1, 2, 3, and then there's Xenoblade, which all of them are fucking awesome. I actually own all the Xenosaga games, and I own Xenoblade. I don't have Xenogears, but I played it, and I loved it, from what I played of it anyways. So, yes, as for X, from what I've seen of it, graphically, it looks really good, and 2, it looks fucking, awesome and badass as hell. I really hope it's not, because for some reason I do get an MMORPG vibe from it, but I really hope it's not. But from what it is personally, though, from what I just look at it, it looks really good. Like I said, it looks really awesome. It looks badass, and so yeah. As for X, so far, I don't know if they're gonna change the name at all. It looks really good. I don't know when it's gonna come out. I'm pretty sure we'll get more information on E3, but as for right now, it actually does look like a pretty badass game. That will be a game I'll probably most likely be getting when it first comes out. Alright, I think I'm gonna mention one more game, because, I could go on about this, all day, but I think just for the last game that I'm gonna mention, it's gonna be Persona 5. Now, this is a game I'm pretty sure is not going to come out this year, since I know it's coming out at the end of the year in Japan, only for PS3, so I'm pretty sure it's going to come out in 2015, I'm sure of that. But I'm also talk about it a little bit. For one, that trailer thing seemed a bit cool in a strange way, because, Shin Megami Tensei, you can't go wrong with how strange things are, but that just makes the game pretty badass, so yes, as for Persona 5, we didn't really get a lot of information about it yet, since, it's still being developed here, but for what I do know about Atlus and what they're doing with the Persona games lately, apparently there's, a bunch of other ones coming out as well. There's, one coming out on the Vita that's, a dancing game, kind of like the Miku game, but it's not, so I really don't know what to say about that one. There's one coming out for the 3DS, which I can't remember. I think it's a mixture between, Persona 3 and Persona 4, but they're all look chibi-like, which is kind of funny. Let's go for the 3DS, so that one also does look kind of cool, and then there's also another, they're making another fighting one. I can't remember the name, I just remember the name was, really ridiculously long. You'd think it'd be called, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Fighter 4, but that's if we're gonna make fun of Street Fighter. But as for Persona, though, that's not what it's called. It has another crazy name. But anyways, like I said, I can't really mention too much about Persona 5 since there isn't a lot of information out about it. But it is something I cannot wait for eventually. In conclusion, there is going to be a lot of great games coming out in 2014, whether if I talked about them very littly or if I made a big explanation about it. Either way, I can only say so much, and you never know. Some of the games may not be as good as what I say, but of course, this is just talking about from just looking at what we've seen, not actually physically playing them since they're not out yet. But hopefully, they all do come out this year. I know obviously not all of them will, but hopefully they do. And I think, yeah, I could go on more about like all the other games, but I think this is gonna be good enough. So. Oh yeah, and you could also tell us what your favorite games are that you're going to be waiting for to come out for this year as well. That would also be great. So you can mention that in the comments or whatever, so that's all good. How about we end it here? So, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and commenting, and just game on.